Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. We're looking at another game from Khan today. We're looking at Khan again because everyone should learn how to play a little bit more like Khan, since he's insanely good at playing in an aggressive, in-your-face style that we've had a lot of fun replicating in our own games. In this game, Khan is playing Swain against Cho'Gath. This is a range bully matchup for Khan, though Cho'Gath can take a ton of punishment and sustain through it. Because of this, Khan has to be unrelenting in his harassment if he wants to be anything more than a farm lane. Beyond the matchup, we're going to be focusing on the aggressive moves Khan makes and how he makes it impossible to counterattack against him. In terms of runes, he's running Phase Rush for diving backline and teamfights, then committing into Transcendence and Ultimate Hat for uptime and Gathering Storm in case things go late game. For his secondary tree, it's all Bone Plate and Second Wind, which is super popular on top laners right now. In order to clap this Cho'Gath, Khan is going to do a few things. First, every time Cho'Gath tries to do anything related to the minion wave, Khan is going to hit him with auto attacks and spells. Next, every time Cho tries to get into melee range of him, Khan will step back and stay out of range. Lastly, when Cho tries to turn tail from trying to get into melee range, Khan will chase forward and go for autos on him. As we start the lane off, Khan isn't concerned with hitting the minion wave. He starts by immediately knocking the Bone Plate off of Cho instead. There's a weird chase into the river here, but ultimately they're still trading evenly in terms of health. This isn't starting off perfectly since he took a second auto attack from Cho'Gath, who is able to sustain if he can score the low minions back in lane. He gets a few autos in on Cho, and we're going to constantly see Khan weaving in autos whenever Cho steps up for anything, whether it's to last hit or try and hit a spell. Again, every time this Cho'Gath even thinks about stepping up for minions, Khan is there to punish him with auto attacks, and we could turn off the voiceover right now and you could just watch him punish last hits and you would still get better at the game. But we won't do that. Here he steps down to the right of these minions so that he can angle all of the bolts from his Q to hit Cho for max damage. Khan is still down in base health since Cho starts with 200 more base health, but the difference in health is starting to be equalized by these aggressive punishes. As we play out the next few seconds, let's pay attention to how Khan reacts to the next few red minions getting low. Cho steps up, possibly for this caster minion, and immediately takes one auto. Cho starts hitting this melee, and Swain moves up even further to get a Q and his level 2 advantage. And the second that Cho turns around to retaliate, Khan instantly turns back around to maintain his distance, following mission 2. Then, the moment Cho commits his auto onto the caster, Khan gets one more auto in. He then skills his E, lands it to root and drag Cho'Gath back, and again he moves back out of range and then gets another auto off before stepping up for one last cube before Cho hits a level 2 of his own. After getting wrecked in those trades, Cho is down 60 health. But what can he even do? Let's watch the last 15 seconds again. So, does he move back? Well, if he moves back, then Khan will get the level advantage and start to zone him really hard. If he holds his ground like he is now, he's going to take a ton of damage, but get most of the CS and stay on parity in terms of XP. As you can see, neither of these are really great options for Cho here because Khan is exposing the weakness of this melee champion against the ranged matchup. Most of the time, Cho'Gath players will try and act tough at level 1, but if you're on a ranged champion like Khan is, you can absolutely punish them in the same way. In the end, what do you think Cho'Gath should do here? We don't have the strict answer here because it mostly comes down to playstyles. We are going to nitpick Khan on his ward placement though, but this is a classic high elo laziness move. The timing of warding at 230 is perfect here, but you want to make sure that you ward at the end of the brush to get that extra second of vision on a potential gank. Anyway, it's back to business, and we see Cho get hit by another 3 auto attacks as he clears out these casters. He sure might be tanky, but this isn't a sustainable pace for him to be losing health at. Here, he trades with his E and moves up and to the left to land his Q, afterwards running immediately backwards to respect Cho'Gath's temporary level advantage. We can also see that Sejuani is incoming on the minimap, and from the way that Cho'Gath is positioning, he doesn't have vision of her. Khan moves backwards to make Cho feel safe in getting vision, and the trap is now sprung. They flawlessly layer the crowd control on Cho, which then lets them get the kill without burning anything. Let's think about what would have happened if Khan wasn't helped by his jungler here, or if the gank wasn't pulled off correctly. As we look at the lane at exactly 3 minutes, Khan has 3 casters and a cannon pushing into him, and he is just under half mana and full health, in comparison to the half health of Cho'Gath. If Cho isn't ganked here, then Khan would kill the cannon, leave the casters alive, and freeze right along this spot until Cho either contested or recalled the reset. Because he has a substantial health lead and will outdamage Cho in a fight, Khan will also be able to chase Cho all of the way down the lane if Cho moves up to contest the freeze. So that's what would have happened, but as we saw, Cho was punished anyway by a great gank timing from Sejuani. Khan doesn't need to stick around here since Cho will be teleporting back soon, so he backs to pick up a 3-minute tier and a control ward. The tier will allow him to burn through Cho's health with Swain's strong flat baseline damage, and getting it this early is the perfect early pickup for this matchup. A quick tip though as he teleports back, he teleports to the furthest minion from the wave, which is just as good as teleporting to the tower. If he teleported closer, he would of course be at risk of getting hit by a Rupture and W combo from Cho'Gath, which he would rather avoid. We see Sejuani in the river here, and Khan immediately goes to work on removing Cho's boneplate. Khan jukes back, and we think that even he was surprised that Sejuani is opting to go for this gank. Even still, they're able to burn a lot of Cho's health, and this is super tilting for Cho to deal with. While we think that the flash was overzealous and the timing of this gank was too soon, we love the idea that Sejuani has, and we recommend that you try to replicate it. For you junglers out there, or for top laners that play with your jungle duo, you can completely remove the enemy top laner from the game by ganking them again after they teleport back into the lane. This is still really frustrating for Cho'Gath even though the gank didn't get pulled off correctly, because he's again chunked out after just having entered lane. Khan doesn't know if Cho recalled or not at this point, so he last hits the minions in lane and denies a few red minions from Cho'Gath. While at this point we can assume that Cho is reset, Khan takes his time pushing the wave so that he can group it with his incoming minion wave. Cho comes back into the lane, and we're at the exact same point as before. Khan is starting to immediately knock off Boneplate and get the harass going on Cho. While the farm differential is still fairly minimal at this point, Cho is already down a full level. Minion leads are really amazing in terms of the gold that they get you, but if you can get XP leads over your opponent by forcing them to back or killing them, you will absolutely destroy them in trades. Let's see how Khan decides to play this as the next wave comes into the turret. So Cho comes in for this first melee as the turret kills it. Khan then lands his E and a Q right after with an auto woven in. As another minion gets low, Khan gets another auto in. Then, as Cho tries to finish it off, Khan hits him with a Q as well. And these were just the melee minions. Caster minions are even easier to punish on because they have to walk further up to last hit them. One auto, one W, one Q, a second auto, a third auto, and then he uses E to drag him back into one last Q. Now, this was absolutely perfect execution on the kill for Khan, but it was also an overextension by Cho. However, this Cho'Gath is still a good player. I mean, he's 500 LP in Korean Challenger with a 58% win rate. But the idea here is that if he's getting punished this hard by Khan, you can definitely punish your opponents doing the same thing as well. Khan clears out the minion wave, resets for a lost chapter, and walks back into the lane. He then grabs the minion wave and pulls it into the brush, then thins it as his wave comes in so that he can maintain the wave position here. This isn't so much to freeze and deny Cho, but to force Cho to come here and brawl. And brawl Khan does, fighting with Cho in the middle of the wave and kiting back. This is perhaps a bit too aggressive, but in the end, Cho is half health, and he's going to be destroyed if he walks up into the next minion wave. Khan isn't too sure if Cho backed or is just hugging his turret, and he decides to just push in the wave. As Cho shows back up, Khan continues to do more of the same aggressive moves. If he can make Cho back again, or if he kills him, he's going to be up 2 levels, which is an insane advantage for any point of the game, especially laning phase. He pokes Cho down, and Cho tries to recall, recalls too close, and then gets punished at the cost of his flash. Then has to even teleport out of lane because Sejuani had the flank. We're going to include this last kill here just for fun, and as Cho dies for the last time, Khan is up 1500 gold and 2 levels at 10 minutes, only to close out the game immediately at the 15-minute mark. Khan got here by doing a few things extremely well, and the things that he did well were further helped by the attention from his jungler. From the very beginning of the lane, every time Cho tries to step up and do anything, he was punished by autos and spells from Khan's Swain. If he ever moved forward to respond, Khan would immediately kite backward. If he then turned around to run away, Khan would get more hits on him and pull him back forward with his E. This was a near flawless execution of bullying a melee with a ranged champion in the top lane, and there's a ton to learn from just watching the way that Khan moved to land his skill shots and extra autos. But until then, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.